Tensions are once again escalating inside the Gaza Strip after the brief ceasefire between Israel and Hamas collapsed. New reports indicate that internal clashes between armed factions and local clans have erupted, further destabilizing the already war-torn territory. Hamas, the de facto ruler of Gaza since 2007, is now struggling to maintain control amid renewed Israeli airstrikes and growing internal dissent. Sources inside Gaza say rival clans and smaller militant groups have begun asserting influence in several neighborhoods, challenging Hamas's authority. These internal divisions are complicating humanitarian operations and recovery efforts that had only just begun after the ceasefire. Aid agencies report that reconstruction projects have slowed dramatically as instability spreads and communication between governing bodies breaks down. In recent days, Hamas has issued multiple public statements calling for unity among all Gaza factions, urging fighters to stop infighting and focus on rebuilding efforts. The group warned that internal conflict only benefits Israel and undermines Gaza's ability to resist further attacks. However, many observers believe these appeals reflect Hamas's weakening grip on power after months of relentless warfare and heavy losses. Israeli airstrikes have continued despite the earlier truce, targeting what Israel describes as Hamas military infrastructure. The Israeli government has accused Hamas of violating the ceasefire by rearming and regrouping during the pause in fighting. In response, Hamas claims that Israel has intensified its attacks deliberately to provoke further escalation and destabilize the Strip from within. Adding to the turmoil are mounting allegations that Hamas security forces have executed suspected collaborators with Israel. International human rights groups have condemned these actions, calling them unlawful killings and evidence of deepening paranoia within the organization. Critics argue that Hamas is labeling dissenters and political rivals as spies in an effort to suppress opposition. The controversy has drawn global attention. U.S. President Donald Trump publicly criticized Hamas over the reported executions, calling them brutal and unacceptable. Meanwhile, Israeli officials have renewed demands for Hamas to lay down its arms entirely, arguing that continued resistance only prolongs Gaza's suffering. The latest surge in violence follows last week's outrage over a video released by Hamas that appeared to show the body of an Israeli hostage. The video sparked anger in Israel and led to a wave of retaliatory airstrikes targeting key areas in Gaza City and Khan Yunis. Civilian casualties have been reported, though exact figures remain unclear due to limited access for journalists and aid workers. Inside Gaza, frustration is rising. Many residents blame both sides for the collapse of the ceasefire, but discontent toward Hamas is growing as living conditions worsen. Electricity remains scarce, medical supplies are depleted, and thousands remain displaced with little hope of returning home.